Okay, last one.
Okay,
right?
this is my personal favorite cafe steamer.
Uh-oh.
It's the chicken margarita with balsamic. And this is a SKU that the refinements that we made to this are really, I think, great little tweaks. We have kind of changed the way that we are using garlic in the meal so that it is maybe not quite as overpowering as it might have been before. And then we've also added some basil.
Okay.
And this is, fresh frozen basil versus dried basil. And I think you're going to be able to tell a difference if you're, ever eating things that have dried basil. This is a very different flavor. This is just a very classic Italian dish that I'm amazed actually comes from frozen. So I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are, but this is fabulous.
One thing I want to point out is Krista didn't give a big shout out to the other two, much like that. So we'll see.
This is just my
This is your personal favorite.
Yeah, like you love barbecue.
That's right.
Bobby likes pesto.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
Look how many tomatoes are on here.
Stuffed.
And that pasta looks great. This is chicken tenderloins with angel hair pasta, roasted garlic, and tomatoes in a balsamic vinaigrette sauce.
And that roasted garlic is something that is new to the meal because roasting garlic is, it's a way to get that same kind of garlic flavor node, but in a much more sort of refined way.
Okay.
So the garlic isn't this overpowering flavor, but you still get the impact of the garlic. So I just think that's a really smart way to do it. And working with the top chefs on this, we got some really good ideas in terms of how we could make what was one of our very top dishes that much better.
Okay, what do you think?
Well, there's a lot of tomatoes, aren't there?
A lot of tomato.
It's just packed, and the chicken looks real good too. That does not look sticky pasta to me at all.
It does not.
It looks.
I'm gonna try to get a close up here. Well, I still have the stuff in there. Hopefully that's on the screen.
There's a ton of tomatoes.
Yeah, a lot.
Which is great, and it's.
So Krista, someone in the chat mentioned that maybe that 2-minute point is when like a little seam busts on the film. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's quite that official,
Okay.
but it's probably related to the when it's coming out of the frozen state and the moisture is actually collecting enough to get the steaming process going.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Remember with the last one we had little bits of bacon. This one has little bits of garlic.
Yeah.
Roasted garlic in there.
And I think we used to have whole cloves in this meal.
Okay.
Which added a lot of really delicious flavor, but could have been overpowering.
Okay.
Especially if you maybe didn't realize it was there and took a bite of that clove.
Yep.
What you're going to get here is a lot more
Mix that up.
kind of uniform flavor throughout the entire dish, and it still gives you just that right amount of kind of roasted garlic.
Yeah.
And then talk to me too if your thoughts on the basil, because that I think is another really great Top Chef touch.
I gotta tell you again, there's a ton of sauce.
Ton of
sauce.
sauce.
It's just like I'm stirring, and there's like more sauce, and everything's covered. There's a ton of sauce here.
One thing I will point out is it's after mixing the sauce, it's darker than I expected, based on what I saw in the box.
Okay.
But it's balsamic.
Yeah.
And that's balsamic. So if I had paid attention to what I was reading, I wouldn't have had that disconnect.
Yeah, it definitely has balsamic. I mean, that's
See,
in
the pasta is not sticky at all. The pasta is definitely coming. It's like it's like perfect pasta, right? At least from the look
Go
of
for
it.
it. Let's see what you think.
Okay.
No, it's kind of tough. Have you seen that spaghetti fork?
Mm-mm.
Remind me. I'll explain that right after this first bite.
That balsamic sauce is great.
You really get the flavor, don't you?
Mm-hmm. It's I mean, it's the basil.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
I
Yummy.
get a little bit of garlic, but I get a nice basil kick to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way more subtle taste than the other two. Barbecue sauce was crazy. The pesto sauce was equally like super savory.
Mm-hmm.
This one's way more subtle to my palate.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up the balsamic, but it's not pungent balsamic. It's light. It's really light. I think that's the best way I could describe it. What do you think?
I think it's great. I guess I don't eat a lot of balsamic stuff. So, I mean, I hear about it and stuff, but this is really good.
Yeah, I think it adds... I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. No, it's great.
No, I just think it adds just a kind of a subtle hint of a really kind of a unique flavor that you're not expecting from sort of a traditional marinara sauce. I mean, it's definitely not that. It's very different.
This, again, I think that this is distinctive. It's light without being watery. It's flavorful with only 600 milligrams of sodium. And the only reason why I bring up sodium is because that's what I think people tend to blame when it's not flavorful. They're like, there's not enough salt in there, right? But that is a really nice light. It feels, I don't know.
Well, you know, I've had balsamic dressings on salads that were light, and it sort of feels like that, but on a pasta. Which I wouldn't have expected, and it's really yummy.
What would you give this?
Oh, just I'm having a hard time. I expected something to be
half-star ingredients.
Oh, I like the 4.8 from the last.
Gosh, I'm feeling like, you know, this is very, very good. But that's still my favorite. I gotta say.
Which one?
The steak. The steak with barbecue. Just they're all good. That rock. They're all delicious. This tastes very homemade to me. Like a homemade by someone who knew what they were doing.
Like you just tossed it.
Yes, like someone who's a very good chef.
Like fresh, the freshness, is that what you're kind of talking about?
Someone who really, you know, like watched, you know, some cooking show and put together, so it tastes very good. At least a 4.5.
Okay. This is not my favorite out of the three. I understand that it's your favorite.
That's okay. I trust you to be honest.
Let me just say it the best way I could say it without generalizing. I think this is a more female meal than a male meal.
I could kind of see that the steak.
Now, especially compared to these two, like, you know, from. And I don't know if it's just the chicken and the steak. It's the balsamic, I think, that taste.
But if you're a guy and you love this, keep buying it. Don't listen to Greg.
I agree. I agree. Because of that, though, it's super. It's light. It feels light, but filling. I still give this a 4-star.
Okay.
But I prefer this one over that, and I like the pesto a little bit over that as well. But I think this is an excellent meal. Do you guys have any questions about that? I really, really think that the overall consistency of this line is heads above other Healthy Choice line as well. You guys know I'm typically a fan of all the Cafe Steamer lines, but even without that Top Chef logo on it, it feels more sophisticated. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch the reactions to all three meals because, you know, I think I just believe that this delivers on something that people are going to be amazed that they can get from their frozen food aisle.
Yeah, I really, like when you say this is like $3, you said? I really, like you said before, I would think it would be more than that. You know, so it would be the sort of the higher end.
This is a plus $5 meal.
I agree with that.
Now, okay, so let's run down. Let's do a rundown, shall we? Oh, here's another thing. Only because my wife is on the chat, she will love this. Like, I will still buy this for her because this is like all the flavors she likes. This and like, because she loves that balsamic. Okay, let's do a rundown, shall we? Okay, so as a recap, let's do this like this. Okay, as a recap, first we reviewed the grilled chicken pesto with vegetables, rotini, great chicken, great fresh basil, non-oily pesto, and super fresh vegetables. Bobby and I both liked it, and we gave it a 4.5 star. The next one, barbecue seasoned steak with red potatoes. I think it's way more than barbecue seasoned. It's like barbecue smothered. I really, really liked the amount of sauce, and let's not forget the bacon in there. But super impressed by the potatoes and the vegetables. Bobby gave it a 4.8. I, understanding the limitations of my website and ranking system, gave it a 4.5. I think both of them are amazing. No, that's great. That's great. I think that this is really, really, I mean, that's the one I'm going to be thinking about for days to come.
Great.
I really, really like that. And another shout out to the bacon in there. And then the final one was the chicken margherita with balsamic. Really nice angel hair pasta. Great chicken, tons of tomatoes. Really impressed by the amount of tomatoes on there. Sauce really good. Nice little garlic flavor to it with a whole lot of great basil flavor to it. And I love kind of what Krista said about just changing up that roasted garlic, how that changes. Oh, I meant to, sorry, I'm going back and forth. The spinach in this is really good as well. The spinach in the chicken pesto. And Bobby gave that a 4.5, and I gave it a 4 only because I think my mind is still clouded by this one. I gotta kind of grade it on a relative scale. So all three of these are available now.
They're on their way to your grocer's freezer if they're not there already.